On today's episode of the Mid-Year Mitch YouTube channel, I'm unveiling a new project, and it's got a tunnel ram. So be sure to stick around.
So we're at the movies, huh?
Yep, we're at the movies. So this is a 78 Corvette that was in storage probably for about 20 years. And the guy's father passed away, went to start it up, fired it up. It was running, walked away, and then the car must have been flooded. It was pouring gas all over the engine. It caught on fire. Then you couldn't get the hood open. The hood is still stock latched. So the fire department broke the hood off, and the inside is total loss. Now it's a park. The inside was a complete total loss. Outside's pretty rough, but it looks like this car was originally silver. Underneath this may have been like the anniversary edition, not the pace car, but the silver and black one. But it'll be good for parts. It's a shame to take it apart, but the guy was going to send it to the scrap yard if nobody took it. So now I have it, and it is Rick's Yard Art. It's not much left in the interior besides the seats. Everything's pretty much ruined in here, so the column might be salvageable, but that's about it. So she's a little rough, but it'll be good for parts. My buddy Rick and I were messing with this and we got the hood open, so these claws are really a bugger. Whenever I don't know if they just rusted shut or what, but they wouldn't release, so had to kind of bend that one and then had to cut the hood off a little bit, and we're able to get to this one to get the release. So you can see the damage under here is pretty extensive, although in front of the radiator all this stuff still looks like it's salvageable, so that's cool. That's where a lot of the money is, but everything in here is toast. I think all this, I don't know if this is the firewall or if this is part of the hood, so I'll have to dive into that to see how bad the damage is here. But there's grass growing in here, and I started cleaning out with a shovel, so we'll get all this crap out of here, make sure there's no critters living in here. And I got the gas tank out, so that's not leaking anymore. Garbage man took it, so we're good to go. Keep taking this apart. It looks like this was a silver car with a burgundy interior. So to be able to build my race car C2 for under $10,000, this is what I purchased. This is a 78 Corvette that had an engine fire that obviously burnt the engine, the hood. A little bit of the fiberglass in the interior is completely burnt up in it. I took the seats out already, but everything else was melted. You can see the gauge cluster. But the frame on this is really nice and solid. It has all the brakes. You know, it was a running driving car. So it has brakes, all the suspension components. Even if I don't use some of the stuff, at least I have it all to get started, and then I can make upgrades from there. So the body's gonna come off of this. So I was at Carlisle, and of course I wanted a tunnel ram because roadkill. And I found this awesome tunnel ram. Then I got some carbs and velocity stacks, because why not? And my buddy threw on his valve covers because the old ones were ugly and the intake was ugly and the carburetor was locked up tight. So we got rid of all that stuff and put speed parts on, because I mean, how can you hate the way that looks? That just looks fantastic. I turned this car into a looker. Imagine driving down the road and that's the view you have right there. I mean, that's just wonderful. So these are eventually gonna probably make it on my race car, but not on this engine. So whenever I brought this thing home, I wanted to make it run and possibly drive because everything's here, but it turns out that the engine's kind of stuck. There's a lot of rust in the transmission, so I don't think that's going to happen with this powertrain. So the body's coming off. I have a buddy who wants to make a hot rod out of the body, so this body may live on in another car, but just with a different chassis. So very shortly, I have my harness kit in here. We're going to hook up the body, or lift this thing off, and we're going to start building a C2 body on this foundation. So be sure to check that out in future videos. But that's going to do it for this video. If you enjoyed, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll catch you guys later.